Hey, ladies. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. It is an odd session for us today because I usually don't come on the weekdays, but I got something in my email and I said, oh, well, I actually have to get up here and speak with you ladies. So, yes, it is official. Goldman Sachs has rolled out its his program for Black women entrepreneurs for its 2023 cohort. And as you're coming in, please like the video tonight. First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened with the Fed today. The Fed has officially raised interest rates, so we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to take my time and do something that most people aren't going to do for you. So most people will just come and say, hey, the Goldman Sachs program is open. What I'm going to do tonight is actually talk with you. We're going to go through the application. We're going to go through some of the other information on the Goldman Sachs website. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I have helped people write grants to raise money. I've gotten into a Goldman Sachs program. It wasn't this one, but it was another one. Um, I know some of the things that I would suggest that you do. And there's also an information session that Goldman Sachs is having as well. So, ladies, if you know a woman who should be a part of this program, definitely make sure that they get access to this live stream. If you are the woman who should get access to this program, then you're definitely in the right place. So, first of all, Woodencore was hoping I had seen this. I absolutely did. I actually am on Goldman Sachs's email list, email distribution list, and I purposely joined it so that anytime they had any information about this topic for their 1 million Black women, I was going to be on the email. So that's one of the first things I want to suggest to you ladies is, and I'll show you the website as we go, is if you want to stay in the know, you need to be on these people's email lists. Even if you create a separate Gmail account or something like that, where you just put all of your quote unquote junk email, I will tell you that, 90% of the time you'll read through stuff and okay, all right. But 10% of the time is when the good stuff comes. One of the things you all asked me about a couple of days ago was how I find out about events. And I just kind of had to sit and think about it. But this is one of the ways because I'm on a lot of email lists and I get a lot of invitations and I just sift through the stuff I don't want to go to. And I get invited to everything. So invariably, the 10% shows up that the wealthy people are at as well. So hello to Selfish Love, who is in the building. Rose is saying I was here first. I'm sure you were, Rose. Welcome. Hey, Selfish Love. Hello, Shy Britex. Nice to see you this evening. Unfortunately, I'm not an entrepreneur, so I guess I can't apply. We will read the requirements, but one of the requirements that they have is you have to be an entrepreneur who has made at least $25,000. But Rose, if you stay on this channel, they're going to be doing this for the next, I think, 7 or 8 years. So you can stay on for tonight and then prep for next year. You can absolutely do that. I love Cherie. Oh, I love you back. She's always giving great information. Thank you so much. I love you back. So, all right, ladies, before we get into Goldman Sachs, our friend Jerome over at the Fed actually raised interest rates today. So we're going to watch a little bit of his comments and then I'm going to come back with a little bit of commentary. Everybody, don't forget to like the video as you are coming in. But let's see what Jerome Powell had to say as they rose interest rates today, 0.25% or 25 basis points, as they call it. And this will be really quick, like, 3 or 4 minutes that we're going to talk about this topic, then we'll move on.
Rate hikes, but ultimately the Fed decided against it. Here's Chair Powell on why there was not a pause.
It was supported by a very...
So some people wanted a pause on the interest rate hikes because of what happened with Silicon Valley Bank and other banks having issues, but they decided not to put a pause on the interest rate hikes. They actually did the interest rate hike. So that's what the anchor was referring to. Let's continue.
Strong consensus, and I'll be happy to explain why. And really it is that the intermeeting data on inflation and the labor market came in stronger than expected. And really before the recent events, we were clearly on track to continue with ongoing rate hikes. In fact, as of a couple of weeks ago, it looked like we'd need to raise rates over the course of the year more than we'd expected at the time.
Otto, I seem to be having internet issues.
Welcome to Yahoo Finance Live.
Okay, can you all hear me? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. I was having some internet issues and I messed up where I was, and I didn't usually I write down where I start the video, and today I didn't. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm able to find his comments here. Yes. Okay. I apologize, everybody. Great. You all can hear me. Great. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Let's start this over again.
Why there was not a pause.
It was supported by a very strong consensus, and I'll be happy to explain why. And really it is that the intermeeting data on inflation and the labor market came in stronger than expected. And really before the recent events, we were clearly on track to continue with ongoing rate hikes. In fact, as of a couple of weeks ago, it looked like we'd need to raise rates over the course of the year more than we'd expected at the time of the SCP in December, the time of the December meeting. We are committed to restoring price stability, and all of the evidence says that the public has confidence that we will do so, that we'll bring inflation down to 2% over time. It is important that we sustain that confidence with our actions as well as our words.
All right, for more reaction to the Fed.
Okay, ladies, so you all heard it from Jerome Powell that they are still continuing on with getting to 2% inflation. We had that discussion last week. They are not stopping what they are doing. Ladies, buckle up. I heard some of the Q&A with the reporters. One of the reporters asked if the recession was going to be really tough on people. They called it, the technical term she asked is, was it going to be a soft landing or a harder landing? Soft landing means that we would ease into recession, and harder landing means that, it's going to be like going down an elevator to a depression. And of course, he says he doesn't know, but blah blah blah. They're committed to making sure that that we have price stability first. So that's all Jerome kept saying was about the inflation getting to 2%. So this is his mandate, ladies. There was another article. I just didn't have time to pull it because I was literally working until 6 minutes before coming on today. But there was another article that I read about the amount of money that has been pumped into the banking system and where that money was coming from and things like that. So at some other point, we'll have that as a conversation. But just know, overall, I'm not going to, promise anything, but I will say, and I will always say that capitalism always protects itself. In the United States, will not let the banking system fail. So, with that, I'm 99.999% sure that the banking system in this country will not fail. It is our competitive advantage having stable political markets, stable financial markets, and our military might. And we had that conversation last week. Those are our smoking guns. And yeah, so Selfish Love is saying, so 2% inflation rate means 10% unemployment going forward. Yep. That is what it means, my dear. That is what it means. Buckle up. And when they say 10%, you're not even counting people who are underemployed and, all of that stuff. So buckle up. Buckle up. Do we know what they base price stability off of? The price stability is based off of inflation, and they want the inflation to be 2%. And right now it's running 6%. Right now it's running 6%. And I don't think eggs count. Eggs do count. There are other things that are not counting as much, like housing and utility, I think. There's a basket of goods that they use for the index, for the inflation index. And I think they don't include utilities in there. So you all know utilities go up like crazy. Housing has gone up like crazy. So yeah. So yeah, you're saying, oh wow, yeah. Um, so anyway, these politicians are going to do what they do. We had a whole session about that, about the Fed and what they're doing. And all I can say again is buckle up. Hey, Becoming Bossy, good to see you here. Okay, so everybody, let's get to the main event. So the main event is all about uh, the Goldman Sachs 1 million Black women. So I I am on Goldman Sachs's email list. When I decide I want to know about something, I want to be kept up to date. I have an email. You can even create your own email that's your junk email if you want to, but I will sign up for an email list. So anybody who is interested in keeping up with the Goldman Sachs 1 million Black women business program, you all should sign up for the email list. Any group you're interested in, any organization you're interested in, practically 95% of them have email lists. I get a ton of emails every day. And because so many people have come in now, I get a ton of emails every day. 90% of them I'll never use, but it's the 10%. It's stuff like this that comes through that either I could share with you or things that I'm able to do. You all asked me last week, how do I know about events and how do you network with the wealthy and things like that? Start getting on people's lists. That company that I got that report from, that Henley report from about the wealthy, I'm now on their email list and they're starting to send me emails. So, this is the way you kind of stay informed. So again, if you want to start another Gmail and either check that Gmail every day or have it on your cell phone, you know, again, 90% of what you get from these organizations will be like, oh, okay, whatever. But 10%, you want to be the first to know with that 10%. So, um, your D'Ambrosia saying finally caught alive this month. Well, welcome. Welcome, D'Ambrosia. Mary is saying, have y'all seen the vlogs from the previous ladies that got accepted? They laid out the red carpet for those women, no expenses spared. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to go through some of that tonight. So, okay. So let's start off with reading what I got from Goldman Sachs. We're going to take our time with this, but we'll probably be on for about 40 minutes or so. So it says here, applications for the fall cohort of Goldman Sachs's 1 million Black women, Black in Business program are now open. This free business education program is dedicated to reaching Black women entrepreneurs with the tools necessary to turn their business potential into business growth. The program is designed specifically for Black women sole proprietors. So, ladies, you don't necessarily have to have an LLC or anything fancy, a C corporation. You can be a sole proprietor with this. You need to have a minimum of $25,000 in revenue over the past 12 months. and who have been operating within the US for at least 1 year. So, ladies, if you say, I don't qualify for that yet, understand that this is the minimum you need to have. So, work on getting your 25 million in revenue from now until March 2024. So that way you could be a part of the 2024 cohort. Okay. But if you qualify now, then let's keep reading. The program will provide number one, a free 10-week business education program with online and in person programming. Number two, a $2,000 program stipend. Number three, all expense paid trips to Goldman Sachs in New York. Number four, business advisors and mentors to guide your growth plan. And number five, a powerful network of Black women entrepreneurs. Ladies, I cannot say enough. It's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. Do you think Goldman Sachs is hiring low vibrational business advisors and mentors to come and work with you? Or do you think they're pulling out the elite and the best of the best? I want you to put it in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you think they're bringing in low vibrational people, talking about the gender war and talking about Sierra and what she had on and all of that other stuff, or put a two in the chat if you think the business advisors and the mentors that are coming are the best of the best. They're the brightest, they're the most well connected. These are the people that can get you over the threshold, 6 figures in income, 7 figures in income, 8 figures in income. You're saying two. Absolutely right, becoming bossy. They're bringing high class. I happen to know one person in particular I can think of off the top of my head. She teaches for the Goldman Sachs 10,000 business program. Top of the line Black woman, been in, I think, in banking. She's been in banking for many, many years. So, yeah, they're bringing the top of the line. The network that you get to meet at these programs is sometimes more powerful than the education program itself. The fact that you're able to say you were accepted to this program, put it on your LinkedIn, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Instagram, let people know as you're applying for um, business loans and business credit and things like that, letting people know that you were part of this program is going to automatically lift you up several notches. I can tell you, I didn't go to this program with Goldman Sachs, but I went to another one of their programs. I was invited to participate in it. The stuff that they teach you behind the scenes is stuff that we were not taught as Black people, as women, especially as Black women. Our parents don't know these things, our grandparents don't know these things for the most part. So, definitely, if you think you want to be a part of this, definitely I suggest you apply. It's saying here, graduates walk away with knowledge on how to price their product or service, hire their first employee, understand their finances, and so much more. To learn more about the program, register here. So I'm going to show you what that link is for an informational webinar. They have several of these webinars, ladies. So I suggest you get on. I'm going to show you how to, and I'll put the links in the chat as well. Applications for the fall 2023 cohort will be accepted until April 21st, 2023. So, ladies, you have a month to prepare. I would suggest you not wait until the last day to put your application in. The application, I've seen it, it's pretty simple. So maybe you take this weekend or next weekend and you pull your application together and you send it off to them. It says here, visit the program website to apply, learn more. We're going to actually look at that as well. So, hey, fine womanhood, welcome. Greetings from Toledo, Ohio. Thank you for this info. I shared it with my daughter. Thank you so much, Mrs. Phoenix. Okay, so let's see the next thing here. So, let's look at the Goldman Sachs website for 1 million Black women in business. And the first thing that I want to do is Just show you a little bit about what's here. We listened, and the research is clear. Entrepreneurship equalizes. It helps to unlock growth and build wealth for Black women. And we're actually going to watch this video, but before we do that, I'm going to put this in. This is the first link here, so you ladies are able to find that. And I'm actually going to show you the video as well. So let us come to, give me a second, everybody. I'm sorry. Okay, let us come here. So, and let us watch. This is a 2-minute, 21-second video here that Goldman Sachs has.
Goldman Sachs is thrilled to have you.
Goldman Sachs 1 Million Black Women Black in Business program is a curated series of workshops and trainings. It's an amazing opportunity to be able to help the fastest growing segment, which are Black women, and to really help them move from being a founder to a CEO and really focus on what they've done and celebrate how they've gotten started, provide tactical tools and strategies to help them grow and scale.
You all are CEOs of your business.
I am a CEO. I was a CEO before I came here, but being here just let me know that I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Black in business is a game changer. It will put your career, your company, your trajectory on a whole different level.
We know that for sustained, inclusive growth, we need to invest in Black women.
This program is a catalyst for your business.
This is a beautiful, beautiful site.
It is an excellent opportunity to expand your business, to understand your business, and to build the sisterhood amongst all of us.
So what are we focused on? We're focused on turning your ideas, your dreams into reality and economic growth.
Making sure that I'm spending time with my business advisor and going through new processes and to help me understand what I needed to do to take my business to the next level is super important.
You guys are going to learn from each other, and this spirit of community, you walked into this room not knowing each other, you're going to leave connected with each other.
Let the sister out. One rise, we all rise.
I have learned that I am capable of more than I thought I was. I realized that a lot of the things that I needed, I already had.
You already have what it takes. It's just a matter of applying it.
My analytics are already out. I'm getting more and more views on my reels and content.
We've been treated like queens. The information is invaluable.
Look at all those women, ladies. Look at how big the program is. I just want to stop there and we'll continue.
Plan to take the most of this and grow my business.
Now, are you ready to grow your business?
Okay, ladies. So, I think this is impressive. Definitely, they have definitely rolled out the red carpet. We're going to read a little bit more here, and then we're going to go to the application. So, Goldman Sachs has spent the last decade helping small businesses grow with its 10,000 Small Businesses program. That's a really good program as well, ladies. But you have to have $250,000 in revenues in order to get into that program. So now 1 million Black women is taking it further, reaching Black women sole proprietors with the tools necessary to turn their business potential into business growth. And remember, ladies, for the 1 million Black women program, you only need to have $25,000 in revenues in order to be considered. Okay. They're saying here, again, participants are going to learn how to better understand their finances, hire their first employee, price their products or services, and much more at no cost to the business owner. At no cost to the business owner. So this is a phenomenal program here. We're going to keep going with regards to me showing you here. A couple of other things. So before I do that, though, I saw something from Wood & Core. Do you think having a detailed business plan ready in advance will help us be able to apply for this and other grants? Can you suggest any resources to prepare a great business plan? Um, let me answer that question when we get to the application. I don't necessarily think you need a 30-page business plan, but you do need to have some things in place. So, Wooden Core, hold on to that question and I'll come back to it. Okay. Um, okay, so one of the things that they had in here as well, they talked about Black women being underrepresented in business ownership. And because of that, they did a research paper called Black Womenomics, Entrepreneurship, and Economic Equality. It is free for you to get this report. Here's the reason why I want you to get this report. So, again, I've written plenty of grant applications that have been accepted. And one of the things that makes a great application and not just a good one is using the buzzwords of the organization or within the grant. So you may say, Cherie, of course I know all the information within this Black Womenomics report. It's not that you don't know the information, it's that whatever terms they're using, I want you to use those terms within your application. So, this is one of my quick tips for you is to actually read through all of the things that they're saying on these websites and use the terms that they use within your application. You also get here what you need to know. So they tell you what you get, and they talk about all the things that you get on here. They talk about your eligibility. Again, minimum $25,000 in revenues over the past 12 months. You can be a sole proprietor, no other full time employees, revenue generating business, and operating for at least 1 year. That's it. That's the eligibility. You have a program commitment here, 6 hours per week online with built in flexibility for your schedule. Develop, present, and receive feedback on your business action plan. So you'll probably be writing Wooden Core, a part of your business plan there. But I would suggest you have like an outline of some of the aspects of your business plan. Um, In-person orientation and graduation sessions and meeting with advisors, mentors, and other business leaders. Then you have here the curriculum that they're going over, the customer profiles, keys to effective marketing, processes for profitable growth, understanding your finances, developing financial projections, and positioning to raise capital. And then you also have the timeline here. So the applications are due April 21st, and the cohort is between September and November of 2023. They don't say when they're going to have a decision made here with regards to this, but that's okay. Okay, so I showed you the report that they have here. I definitely suggest you download it and read this if you are a serious contender for this. The next thing they have here, I'm going to put this in the chat so you all can get this too. This is the information. This is the information session, and actually, they have several information sessions. If you're serious about applying for this, I suggest you go to one of the information sessions here. So the first one is on Monday, March 27th. Then they have others on April 5th, April 12th, and April 19th. They don't have any on a weekday. Oh, it looks like, see, this first one is already sold out. When I came earlier today, they still had spots for this Monday, March 27th call. It's all sold out. So I would suggest tonight you hop on here and reserve your spot for whichever one of these that you're able to go to. So this is the information session where they're going to actually walk through probably the application and answer your questions and things like that. So I would suggest you make an appearance there. Finally, this is the application itself. So I'm going to put this in the chat as well here for you ladies. The application is here. Okay, so let's go through the application a little bit for you as well. So it has your first name, last name, date of birth, your gender identity, I hate pronouns, but okay. Um, email, phone, work and mobile phone, address, ethnicity, business name, your title, um, your website. If you don't have a website, I suggest you whip one together really quickly. Use Wix or something like that to get your website together. Year founded, percentage ownership. If you own less than 100%, please describe your business ownership structure. If you have multiple businesses that you are looking to get in with this, I would kind of suggest you, unless you're partnered with another Black woman, um, you may want to consider doing a business that has done 25,000 in revenues that you own 100%. Is your business currently open and actively serving clients? You uh, don't lie on this, but they're probably looking for a yes answer from this. Um, how many full-time employees do you have, including yourself? Ladies, they specifically said in the application section that they wanted you. Let's actually go back to the eligibility. Let's go back to the eligibility. Because they said here on the eligibility, Black women own sole proprietorships, no other full-time employees. This is why it's important to read all of this stuff. So when they come here and they're looking, how many full-time employees do you have, including yourself? If you say, I have 5, that may make you ineligible. Okay. So again, definitely read everything and know what it is that you're putting into these into your responses here. Part-time employees, they didn't say anything about part-time employees, so you can definitely add more people there. Are you planning to hire people? Your 2021 revenue, your 2022, 2023 revenue year to date. So ladies, I'd suggest you have your books together. Take this weekend, next weekend, pull that together. How did you hear about the program? So you can add that in. Your industry. Okay, this goes back a little bit to what Wooden Core was talking about. This is where you start at answering questions. And here is my suggestion for you. Leverage Chat GPT. Don't just copy and paste, right? But if you have writer's block, this is where you want to leverage ChatGPT with regards to taking, all sorts of things that you're thinking and pulling it in concisely into something like this. So please briefly describe the primary products or services of your business. Again, being able to, you create what it is that you're doing, right? Or write it out just super rough and throw it in Chat GPT and ask it to either summarize or something like that. Summarize in one sentence because it doesn't look like they have a lot of space here. So definitely making it one sentence that you do. You want this to pop. You want them to either say, wow, we don't have anybody doing anything like that. Or you want them to say, wow, we have other people who have applied that have that same business, but they don't do it like she does. If anything they're going to read, they're probably going to read this. They are trying to weed people out quickly. Absolutely. With everything that they're doing. This is why I wanted to come on here and talk to you about let's strategize about this. So, OMG, I'm glad I clicked on this. I think I may qualify. Good for you. Yeah, you should apply. And if you don't qualify this year, then look at the qualifications and in March 2024, apply then. Apply then. So, why are you interested in 1 million Black women, Black in business? Okay, ladies, what you do with this is you go back to their website and you look for their mission. What are they trying to accomplish with this program? and you talk about how their program and their mission is aligned with your business and what you want to do and where you want to go, whether it is the community of Black women that are involved, whether it is some of the lessons that they are teaching, whatever it is, make sure you tie it in to some of the things that they want to do. That's what you're looking for. Again, you can take some random thoughts, pull it together, throw it in ChatGPT, and have ChatGPT do the writing for you. Okay. Next thing, how do you differentiate your product or service from your competition? This is very important, especially the more, excuse me for a second, ladies. I'm gonna need to stop drinking so much milk, especially the more commoditized your business is, the more you need to make this part stand out. If you have a business that's truly unique, then you can play with this a little bit more. But everybody that I've worked with, the more commoditized your business is, the more you really need to make this stand out and really need to make this pop. Here's the thing with Goldman Sachs, just thinking about it from their point of view, they're probably going to get thousands of applications. And you want to put something in here that they're like, number one, we can help her grow this business. And number two, she has put a twist on something that we have already seen. So you want to have a differentiated, excuse me, a differentiated product or service. Really spend time thinking about this. And this is not about you talking negatively about your competition. This is just explaining why you are the Beyonce of your industry, right? If you were to ask, how do I be the Beyonce of my industry and actually prove it? You can also say, for example, I've worked with this client and we were able to do this with them. And they, because of that, other, service providers have not been able to do that. But this is a very important question. Okay, list 3 goals that you have for your business over the next 12 months. Again, you want to go back to the things that Goldman Sachs is either going to teach you or their mission, etc., and have, I would suggest, at least 2 of those goals be tied in to what Goldman Sachs is offering. Why do you want to do that? Because when people read this, they want to feel like they're able to help you reach those goals. That's the point of the cohort. Okay. Y'all are mighty quiet. Put a 5 in the chat if you think I'm giving you some gems. Put a 6 in the chat if you're like, Cherie, you're wasting my time. And we need to bless the algorithms. Put a 5 in the chat if you're thinking I'm giving you some gems. Put a 6 in the chat if you feel like I'm wasting your time. We need to bless the algorithms. They need to know you're still here. While you all are giving those, oh, the 5s are coming through. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually put in, give me a sec. I'm going to invite you all up as well if you want to talk about any of this, if you want to brainstorm or anything like that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to pin it. Sorry. There you go. If anybody wants to come up on StreamYard, you can. Okay, next thing. What is your 5-year vision for your business? What is your 5-year vision for your business in terms of revenue and employees? Here's the thing with this, ladies. Goldman Sachs is not interested in inviting you to this program if you're going to remain stagnant. I think most of us know that. Give me a second, Rose, and I will let you up. Give me a second. What you're looking for, again, thinking about how you can tie it into the things that they are trying to do for and with Black women. It could be that you want to hire a certain number of employees, you want to hire a certain type of employee. Um, you maybe want to hire single mothers and help them and train them, et cetera, et cetera. In terms of revenue, your vision could be something bigger because you have a product that is unique. Whatever it is, remember you're always tying it back in to what Goldman Sachs is wanting to do. Have you participated in similar programs like this before? You can say yes, that's fine. If so, which ones? You can definitely say yes to that as well. You don't have to be a newbie, in my opinion. Any additional information that you would like to share about your business? I suggest you add something here. And again, have it be something that sends your application over the edge. Okay. Then you want to upload your Schedule C or your full year profit and loss statement. So, ladies, you are going to have to, I would suggest you have your 2022 information together for your Schedule C or your 2022 profit and loss statement. Don't give them 2021. And then upload a professional photo. Definitely make sure it is a professional photo or headshot, not of you and your kid or anything like that. They probably want to use these photos for their marketing and things like that. So, and then you have all of this information down here. You want to make sure that you read it. And given the time commitment, please confirm you're able to do all of these things. You're certifying that you are applying for this, and then you're signing here. And I would imagine that that is a submit button. So with that, that is the application. Rose, I'm officially adding you to the live stream. Hello.
Hello, Sheree. Can you hear me?
I can.
Wow, thank you. Again, let me start by saying thank you so much for this very productive platform that you have. And like you said, we're not wasting our time on rubbish. I have a question. I'm curious.
Mhm.
And I'm asking this question not for criticism purposes or anything negative. I just am a very analytical person. I just have to
Sure.
know the whys. Why do you think Goldman Sachs is doing this for Black women? And let me explain to you why.
Mhm.
With all the stuff we hear, the racism stuff, and I don't attach too much importance to that, but it is an issue. With all we hear about racism, how we are no good, we're marginalized, we're just a waste, why invest in us? Since we're small, why do you think they have to? Because we're the propaganda out there is that we're disposable. Where I heard someone say something about when AI comes, their automatic conclusion is that Black people will be there, which I don't really think is the case. I think there will be Black people. I know Black people who are living better than some white people, very
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
That's question one. The second question, not to be controversial, not to be one of these low vibrational people, but I gotta ask, and you bet this is being talked about. What do you think is the reason of Goldman Sachs giving to Black women as opposed to Black men? Because you know what's going to be said. Not that I care. I really don't care. I commend Goldman and Sachs for this, but I'd like to know. I'd like to know what your thoughts are.
Okay, you want to get me in the gender war here. Okay, I see what's happening here.
Okay,
All
in that
right.
case, you can strike the last question. You can strike the last question and
I
do the
would
first one.
actually answer the last question because I answered it on a co-ed pro-Black channel before. So I'll start with why Black women versus Black men. In my opinion, first of all, let's start with the fact. Fact is that there was a group of women at Goldman Sachs that advocated for this program. You can see when Goldman Sachs first launched this program, they talked about, I think, 3 or 4 of these women. It's been a while since I've read the story, who advocated for this program. I think the reason that Black women are being invested in versus Black men is because Black women were at the table advocating for this program. And for whatever reason, those 3 or 4 women chose to advocate for Black women versus Black people. Now, on that Pro Black channel, they asked me why. I'm like, I don't know. But I also told the men that there's Citigroup, there's JP Morgan Chase. I said, if Black men want a program for themselves, you're going to have to fight for it. That's what I said on the Pro Black channel in front of the co-ed group. And that's what I'm saying here. So, that's that. With regards to why are they investing in Black women? I think a few reasons. Number one is that Goldman Sachs is a for-profit company. And years ago, they only used to serve the super wealthy. And if you're of a certain age, you remember that. But they needed to expand their market share. So they started doing what? They started doing coming down to, the upper middle class and the middle class individuals. Well, they need to expand their market share again. And they're looking around for a market that they can actually tap into. And between the advocacy of the women that were at the table at Goldman Sachs and them looking at the numbers, I feel like that's the reason why they decided to launch this program. They're looking at this as if they have so much goodwill with Black women and they help, let's say they help 1 million Black women, and 100,000 of us create businesses that are worth, I don't know, 20, $30 million, let's say. Not super for like the super rich men, but great for us, right? How much goodwill would Goldman Sachs have earned while putting in, let's be real, and for them, very little money? Because see, to us, we think $10 billion is a lot of money. To them, it's a drop in the bucket. So I think that all of that kind of comes together with regards to why they're choosing to invest. It's from a selfish reason for their point of view, as well as um, the advocates were there.
Okay, thank you. I
Mhm.
think you just said it. Um, it's not it's not purely an act of altruism, but
Mm-mm.
what I stand. No, no, it's good. And again, that's not even a criticism. That's just being realistic. But I just wanted to understand and thank you so much. I think you have someone else, so I'll mute and let that person speak.
Yeah, Wooden Core is in the building. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. What do you think of tonight's discussion?
I am loving this. I actually also was on the mailing list. So when I saw that email come through, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm so glad that but I should have known you were on the mailing list. But I'm so glad that you covered this. I might have to dip out because I'm actually at work,
Okay.
but thank you so much. Just to echo the previous caller, thank you so much for doing this. Can't ever thank you enough. This is just such a wonderful channel, so needed. But this is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't say anything.
Okay. I was just going to say that this is really making me want to, and I'm way behind where I need to be, but this is really, really like an incentivizer to even go out and find similar groups, find some kind of like Black woman business collective in my city, because I would love to. I'm not quite on this level yet, but I
Hmm.
would love to, get together with other Black women and help someone else get their stuff together for the next round. and have them help me get my stuff together for this round and brainstorm and swap ideas and get a bunch of people together because of course you're gonna miss ideas that
Mhm.
the next person might have and all that. So I also wanted to mention.
Can you I wanna
I'm sorry, of
respond to
course.
what you just said. No, I wanna respond to what you just said. So, I think it's a great idea for connecting with other Black women. Definitely Googling, putting something in putting Black women in Meetup or in Eventbrite and see, what
Mhm.
comes. Also Goldman Sachs has, they have invested in several nonprofits that help Black women on the local level. So
Mhm.
since you're on the email list or just go through the Goldman Sachs website, they have other press releases. And I think it was the summer of last year, they had a listing of all of the companies all of the nonprofits that help Black women on a local level. So you
Yes.
can even tap into those. The final thing is if you don't see anything in your community, either at all or that you like, create it. Create
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So, very simply, what you're able to do is talk to a restaurant, ask them if you can section off a part of the restaurant for a happy hour. Most of them will say yes, shouldn't cost you anything. Then invite, 10 or 12 women, and you could potentially even invite like women who you want to meet and say, hey, I'm getting this group of women together. We all are connected with real estate or whatever it is that you want to say to them.
Mhm.
And you will be surprised who comes, who shows up. If you can get 20 to 30 women on that first day, it's a win. And
Oh,
just have
yeah.
happy hour. You don't have to prepare anything special and let the women meet each other.
I love that. I
Yeah.
never would have thought to create my own just because I'm not I'm not the social butterfly, but I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is kind of galvanizing me. I'm thinking, okay, so 25,000 means how much per month, and
Mhm.
all these things. All that I'm thinking, trying to think of how I
Yeah.
can be maybe not for the next cohort, but
Yeah.
soon. As you said, this is the still year one of a 10-year initiative.
Yeah, I think it's year 2 or 3, but we still have
Oh,
time to go, and it
you're
wouldn't
right.
surprise me if when this is successful, because I believe it will be. I believe in
Okay.
I mean, the Black women that they brought, I mean, that we saw in that video are just amazing.
Yeah.
I think it'll be rolled out, even more. The other thing is that I was recently contacted by this woman who wants to do a real estate group for Black and brown women in my local area. So you could even
Nice.
just focus on real estate people because that's your
Mhm.
thing, and just contact the realtors, the mortgage brokers, the title company people, and the real estate people love to come, and you may end up with some
Yes.
off-market deals or other
Exactly.
opportunities given to you, just, saying, "Hey, anybody who's a real estate investor in real estate period, we're gonna get together and have happy hour."
Exactly. Yes,
Mhm,
that is true. And I don't know a lot about other industries, but
mhm.
networking is never a bad idea, no matter what industry that you're in.
Yeah. And you have
So,
something else to say?
I was just going to quickly comment on the question from the previous or the other lady on the call.
Mhm.
I think another reason um, that they've started this is actually if you look on their website, which I'm sure a lot of us did, they have many initiatives. They have initiatives for generally just minority people. Generally, they have initiatives for women. For some reason, this one has gotten a lot of attention, but this isn't an unusual thing for Goldman Sachs. They have a lot of initiatives, and then they have initiatives just with small businesses, and of course, they're always supporting large businesses. But and I think another reason is um, I know that the big investors like Glass Lewis and all those people are now saying that they are not going to support a lot of company boards unless they are diverse. They are going to, I can't think of the exact phrasing, but I think this is exactly what you said. This is Goldman Sachs and others getting ahead of getting ahead of a situation where you're going to need in the next few years, you're going to need a Black woman on boards of these huge companies. You're going to need diversity in order to get these huge investors involved. I'm sorry, I can't think about the exact wording. I don't want to just call them investors. There's an exact word for it.
They have the board members, the board of directors, and then the shareholders.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is just them getting ahead of it, and it's just as you both said, this isn't altruism. This is a business. They're not a charity.
Mhm.
They're a business. So if they're doing something, they're gonna make some money.
Can I cut in?
Of course.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you to the ladies. What the answer the lady gave. Thank you. This is very, very important to know, not just from a business level, but the reason why I asked this question and what this lady said also gives rise to something. You had the comment Adam Scott made. You know, what he said. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because in YouTube, any little thing they're striking you. But he made a comment about how a certain hue of people shouldn't help another hue of people, and he literally said, um, this hue of people get the expletive away, and people are listening to this, and then there's a lot of negativity spewed at Black women, um what we hear, and it makes you feel that you don't really have value. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying have low self-esteem, but you kind of underestimate your place in this world. You kind of think, well, maybe I have to take a back seat. But if they're making all this effort, then we're a lot more important than we're being made to believe we are. Otherwise they wouldn't do this. And so what I'm getting out of this is, don't believe, don't misunderstand me. I'm not one of those people with low self-esteem, but you know how people talk about people of the darker hue. But it's just saying that we cannot let people's negativity and comments make us take away our vigor or our enthusiasm or what we need to do to keep our place. um because why I'm saying this is that there could be something a person may want to pursue, and you're like, I don't think, yeah, I'm good, but they may not want me because I'm Black, not knowing you might be more needed than you think. Thank you.
Absolutely. I cannot agree with that more. I never let my ethnicity get in the way of my blessing or my opportunity. I don't suggest other people do that either. Also, the other reason for the valuableness that we know is that there's heavy investment going into Africa. There's heavy investment going into microloans for African Black women. I can show you all at some point some of the articles that I'm reading and things like that, where they're investing $1,000, $2,500 into, they call them microloans, into African women in these villages. And these women are doing amazing things with this money. We think it's a little bit of money, but it's so much for them, and they're able to actually have an economic impact. And I think that that's what these companies want. They want to be able to see a return on investment, and then, like a boomerang, they want, you know, you to come back to them for your wealth building needs or whatever it is. So yeah,
Thank
we
Sheree.
definitely need it.
Sheree, thank you for saying that. That for one is one I would be very particularly interested in, from having affiliation with Africa. Um, I gotta say this. Please forgive me. I don't want to veer off on what your channel is, but it's like, okay, you're saying that these people are investing in Africa, and it's annoying because I'll give you a place like Nigeria that is, I believe, is the seventh largest producer of oil, and so there's money coming in there. There are billionaires there, and yet there is no investment in these people, in their own people, and making it better. At least not what I've seen. Not what I've seen. And why does it take other people outside to do it? I mean, thank God they're doing it, but I really wish that we did that for ourselves. I just had to throw that in there, but thank you for that information.
Yeah, and that's definitely understandable. So you mentioned investing in Africa, and I'm thinking investing in Africans. Instead of investing in Black America, they're investing in Black American women. So that part of that Scott Adams thing with it going down to the individual level, I'm seeing as well, even with 1 million Black women, it's like, hey, but they're still looking through the applications to pick the best of the best, right? Um, so, and we can kind of play around with the semantics and all of that. I don't want to get into that too much tonight. Why are we not doing? The final thing that I will say is one of the first sessions I did on this channel when I decided to take this channel like super seriously was there was a lot of complaining about Black men. Black men won't build. And I came up with the session, if they won't build, then what? Because I want us to progress from they won't build. And, they could be Black men, it could be, white supremacy or any of that. Okay, then what? What do we do? What are our options? And I always want us to have that type of community here. And I'm not saying, Rose, that you can't bring up what you've said because it's very valid, but then what? What's in front of us? And I think that there are a lot of opportunities. I want to bring a lot more of these opportunities in front of the community. There are grants that I'm seeing that I'm posting in the community tab. And I just want us to say, okay, we can't do anything about these other things, but what can we do? What do we have control over? And for example, this application is one of those things, and being able to strategize and me just kind of giving you my 2 cents of how I would approach, the application and things like that, and being able to hopefully help some people have a different way of thinking about these applications.
No, I agree. I agree, and that's the reason why when I first come on, I say thank you. That last thing I said was more like a comment and observation, but yes, you're right. And now what? And that's the reason why I don't really get involved in a lot of channels because I'm not interested in the lamentations of whoa. Okay, this is the situation. What do we do now? I'm not interested in lamenting of what are you doing now? And that's why I'm so grateful. That's why I said I really love your show. You're always giving us great information. I'm excited. I'm like, I hope Sheree has a show on today. And when I saw the alert, I immediately came on. So thank
I'm
you so
glad.
much
You
for
should,
that.
yes, yes. I hope you have your notifications on. Coco Tigers is asking, how do the African women get those microloans asking for a friend? Are you doing a wink wink, Coco Tigers? There are a couple of organizations. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but you can Google it, or if I'm able to find it, I don't even know where I would have notes on that. But there were a couple that I was introduced to last year that specifically do microloans. One was specifically microloans for women in Africa and Asia, like the poorest countries. If I come across it, I'll let you know. I'll put it in the community tab. I can't remember the name of it, but you can Google as well. Uh, how to approach the application was great advice. Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought I just come in again and kind of give you all some thoughts with regards to strategizing about this. Well, it is close to my time to retire myself. Go to bed. However, Rose Wooden Core, do you have anything else to say before we head out for the evening?
All I can say is just all I can say is just thank you for doing a great job. Thank you, and I look forward to your next broadcast.
Thank you, Rose.
And I want to thank Rose for asking that question because we should always be aware of why people do things. So yes, certainly that question has a lot of merit and it should be considered. And also, of course, Ms. Cherie, thank you once again just for having our backs and for kind of trying to galvanize us because This is our moment. And hopefully with this, we'll be able to eventually get to a point where we are creating these types of huge, hard-hitting type of situations for ourselves and not having to go outside of our community if that is what we would like to, if we would like to stay within the community, if that's our wish. But thank you so much. And I really did like the advice of looking to see what see what their mission is and align it with our mission on the grants. I've done that for resumes, but I never thought about doing that for a grant, kind of tailoring the phrasing.
Yep,
So
it works every time. I've
it does.
and not to brag or anything like that, but I helped one of my clients last year get close to $500,000, and that's what I did. I looked at what they said they wanted, and I spit it back to them. So it does work. It
Oh
does
yes.
work. Yeah, and this is gonna be a very, very competitive program because it's highly publicized. So
Mhm.
be on your A game with this. You all have a month to prepare. I wouldn't suggest you wait to the last minute, but I would start preparing now and get your applications in. But the networking itself is gonna be amazing in this thing.
Amazing. But thank you, Ms. Sheree.
You're welcome. Okay, everybody, that is it. That's the show for tonight for our
Good
Wealth
night.
Wednesday. I'm sorry, Rose.
No, I was saying good night and thank you to the other lady and good night.
Good night. All right, everybody, that is Wealth Wednesday for the evening. I will see you all this weekend. Take care. Night.